Yes, my lovely people. How are we all? How are we all? How are we all? Right. Back with one of these tactical breakdowns, or whatever you want to call them. So, as an analyst, one of the, after a defeat, that you have to watch it back more than once. And that's the painful part of the experience. But I need to deal with that. I need to get used to it. So, what I'm going to do in this video is I've already watched the game back. I'm going to review, go through it. I'm mainly going to go through the goals, how they could be avoided potentially, and how we can adapt to change that, and how that happened. Because, as an analyst, how is very important, and the why. How did that happen? Why did it happen? How can we change that? That's the basic principle. So we'll get into it straight away. We'll break this down. We'll have a look. Let's see. Let's go. And, just straight off the bat, the stuff that's frustrated me about what happened in the second half was I know we'll talk about the goals here, but just the lack of movement, the lack of productivity. And I can't show the clip because I'll get copyrighted, but here, just on the ball, the amount of different movements, the amount of things happening on every single move in the first 3 minutes, it's just phenomenal for us. Like, Cine gets the ball here, McKennie makes a late run, Patrick runs on the outside, Brentford arcs his run, Jack's running behind. I think Rocker drops, I think Firpo makes a move, like, Ayling's going down the line, and this was constant. The first, until that goal went in, which Javi's come out and said, that changed it, that affected it. I thought it might have been the second goal, but that goal before half-time, it's cliche, you score by half-time, but it's true. And I've been in that situation, because everything changes in a matter of seconds. You think, you're going in half-time, 1-up, fine, we played well, 1-up, comfortable. But then you're going, and it's 1-all, and in walking through that tunnel, they're buzzing, they're up for it, they're saying stuff. If you're not elite up here, it gets to you. And most people in the world are not elite up here. That's not a slate on these. Most footballers in the world are not like that. But it's good to see, watching this first half back, just all the movement we did. All the different patterns of play we did. All the different variations. And how that changed and caved in is insane. Rocker there has just pinged an absolute beauty across the entire pitch. And just look at the numbers here. Look at these, man. One big ping, and suddenly their back line is here, and you're right in front of it. All this space to occupy. Jack's making a run. Aronson's making a run. Patrick's going to make a run. I'm just showing these quickly because it's frustrating how we went from this to what happened in the second half with the goals, defensively and offensively, how we just didn't occupy anything. We didn't do anything. We were so passive when we're attacking. So this was the first warning for me. So we're on the attack here and we lose the ball. And Gaihi, I think it was him, gets the ball in there. And this is where the Rocker dives in and ends up about 5 foot behind him. This was the first warning. This was the initial warning. This is where I got a bit worried. Because Rocker's dived in there, right, as you can see. And Eze is the space of Ellen Road because of that movement. Now, if you're pushing up there, because the other centre is there, that's Doucouré, I think. Where's the other central midfielder? Is there. Kind of covering that line ball again. Now, that's great because that doesn't give them access out wide to the dangerous players who can beat Luke Ayling one-on-one, so it's kind of that cover. But the issue here was Rocker diving in. What use is he there? That's our central midfielder. When we already had 2 men around the ball, it wasn't needed. If he's not shot up and dived in there, he's a lot closer to Eze, who can't just break through. Because McKennie there is actually covering that line because that's where the danger is, right? But Eze's tucked in from the wing. And Rocker's dived in and he's just given him all this space. And we see this is where Junior, fouls him. And I don't care about that. It's a foul. It's a fullback foul in Leeds City, who's a class player. The issue came from 20 seconds before. Here. Look. Why on earth Rocker feels a need to tuck in there, I don't know. When it's clear this man is so much space. Is anyone telling him? Does he know that? Is he aware? Is he just annoyed? Is he too aggressive? Is he too eager to get the ball? Does Javi want him to do that? These are the questions. It leads to this. Look, no central midfielder apart from McKennie. Outnumbered. Nothing he can do. It's hard to really see the build up here because it kind of just we try a long ball and then we kick it out for a throw in. They throw it in and it just seems like it just grabs him. It's naive again. And I'm a player who thinks Rocker is absolutely outstanding. And actually, in the first half, for a good 40 minutes, he's probably our best player. But he's made something in his head has made him go over the top here. And this is where they score from. The first build, it's annoying, it's frustrating. It's not needed. A team that is very good at set pieces, you do not give them an easy opportunity to score set pieces. And that's a terrible... Why is he doing that? I don't know. He's not a threat. There's no reason. Zero reason to do that. Zero. Now, the interesting thing here is... So the two that actually get on the end of it are Schlupp and Ayew. And I believe that is Bamford and Rocker. Now, but I don't get the setup. We'll look at the setup here. I'm struggling. Because if we're trying to keep that line, that's fine. But there's three men, right? Strauch's obviously got Anderson. Jack stood in front of them. Has Firpo got one of these? Like, it doesn't... Bamford got Ayew. Well, then who's got Guy he? Because there's two here. So that must mean Rocker is meant to be watching Ayew at the front. Bamford there, Firpo there. Right? Because if not, that means Bamford's watching Ayew. But then who's watching these two? Right. That's made it more clear. Rocker is clearly watching Ayew. Junior's watching Guy and Bamford is watching Schlupp. And that's fairly thing from now. Right. So they're the men. They're the men we're marking. Okay. Initially, Rocker's position is not... He's behind him. Maybe just... he's got to be a bit deeper there. I don't know. They're trying to keep that line. Ball comes in. That's Schlupp and Ayew. Now, what I said about Rocker's position, it's just gone over his head. And Ayew's got a header on it. Junior's lost his man. Or Bamford, one of them. Whoever was marking him has lost his man. That's just terrible. Like, look at these two here. Look at them. They're not marking anyone or anything. Because now, if Bamford is marking Guy, why is Strauch stood here? Is he marking him? Is he marking him? It's just all a bit a mess. Junior should be next to him. There's no doubt about that. Rocker should be in front of him. It's just not good marking, guys. Right. Right. This is where the second goal comes from. There's a bit of a scrap in the middle, back and forth. We cleared it. They had it back. Then it comes to this position here. Now, Cynic gives the ball to Luke Ayling here. But what you can see is, as a defence, as a unit, we're all narrow. So we're still in that defensive transition. We're not yet built. We've not yet created a position where we're ready to attack. Look. None of these are ready to receive a ball. It's happened that quick. So there's not really an option, right? So we'll fast forward it 1 or 2 seconds. Now, as the ball's come to Ayling here, again, look at the back four. None of them back four there are in a position to receive their ball. We've not got width, we've not gone wide, we've not spread out, we've not got depth yet. It's almost like the mentality was get it out. So and look, should Ayling just swipe at it? No. Has he gone for Jack? Yes. Is that a wrong option? Yes, because he's giving him in the air and it's a risk. And this is Elise in space. 1-win header here and he's in. And that's what happened. But if we're going to boot the ball, if that's the way we are doing it, if that's the mentality at this point, do it long. Like, you could see by the way he arcs his foot when he kicks it, you can watch it. He does aim to go out here. And it's a bit ludicrous for me, especially with the numbers Palace already have forward. You're giving him a 1v1 in the air against Joel Ward, who's going to win that. And then look at Elisa here. And they've got Eze in space. It's crazy. This entire situation is mental. Not one position is not one guy here is in a position to receive the ball. And Sinny's passed it to Ayling. But maybe if Ayling takes a touch, people will then snap into it and be in positions. It's all a bit mad. It's hard to really say Ayling is at fault because no one else at this moment was in a position to receive the ball anyway. Could he have put his foot on it? Yes, 100%, and that's what you should have done. Maybe Sinisterra a second later might make a run out here, and then look, you've got space. Sinisterra drifts wide, that takes him out of the picture. There's a bit more space in here. Firpo spreads wide, there's depth. And that's what we'd have done in the first half, and that's what we did against Forest. But what we did here, and Cini's passed it to Ayling. Like, Cini wants to play it, he wants to play it. But the others are not in a position to receive the ball. It was all a bit mad. And then we'll progress. Yeah, look. And this is the situation he's been put in. And then look. He wins that ball. Look at the numbers. But again, I'm looking at the reactions now. Rocker here. So Eze's coming into Rocker in case that second ball. What's Mickey? Again, he's just... So there, players. It was a quick transition. It was a really quick transition. It's hard to set properly in any of these situations. But Eze is ready. Elise is ready for it. Ball goes to Elise. Suddenly now you're engaging as defence, as a team. And now we're in trouble. Because Jack's falling here. He's just been beaten there. Firpo now, Rocker's trying to recover, but he's always behind him. Firpo now shouldn't be square on like that. But he doesn't know whether to go to the ball or drag this guy because Jack's out of the picture. Elise now has space. Rocker can't commit too hard into there. You've got Elise there. You've got Joe Ward here. We're in problem. Occupied, two defenders here as Edouard, I think that was. And it all comes from a situation of panicking with the ball here, not having an option, not creating an option, not being calm. It was a panic moment, decision making. It wasn't good enough, and it's led to this. But there's still more we could have done from this position. And now you're looking at this. He's played the ball through, and look at this. I don't get why Rocker's gone inside here. I don't get it. He's made that initial movement to close down Elise, which was fine because he made him... The only pass on was in there. But then he's gone in here. There's no threat in here. You've got two men. You've got two men in here that can cover anything. This is the problem. Jack's not going to get back because he's lost the ball. He's going to be given a terrible ball in the air. He's got to do about that. The reaction just wasn't good enough. But luckily it was a bad cross. A bad pass from Edouard. So in here now, you think, yeah, look, Jack's back. Firpo's back. We look all right. Cox in there in the box. Strout's gone in. Kept him tight. Again, 1v1. Say Strout's got to be close enough, probably. Got to be closer than that. Just give him a bit too much respect. I want him in his face. But he's allowed him to get the cross in this position. It's hard to see the box at this point because this is the view we've got. But this is the situation we've got. This is what I've got to deal with. It shows bad. It shows bad. He's out-jumped him. In fact, Ayling's not jumped. Ayling doesn't jump. What else can you break down? That's about... And there's many situations. We could talk about the clearance. We could talk about actual options. Is there any options there? Is anyone telling him to calm? When he kicks that ball out initially, is anyone saying, relax? Relax, straight away. As soon as City passes that ball, calm, shout, calm. Time. Did anyone shout? Anyone in the ground? Let me know. Did you hear anything? There's so many things. Then Rocker's recovery. Then Strout getting closer, not allowing the cross. And then this is just bad. It's a terrible goal to concede. You can break that down in so many ways. But what is that down to? A lot of defending is down to desire. We have to defend because of the decision we made, which is mentality. But then there, Strout closing him down, Rocker bursting that run to follow Eze, to follow Elise. It's about desire. Luke Ayling not letting his man in front of him. It's about desire. Have these mistakes, so this is what happens. Ayling punches the ground. He knows he's messed up. But we have to reach. We can't just keep being angry. We've got to do something about that. So this is literally half a second before Elise whips the ball in the box. He stood behind him. Ayling's got to be just two, and he's got to be here. He's got to be there. He stood directly behind the guy. Face him. Get in front. Make sure he's in front of you. I didn't even. It's not. This is coaching. This is basic coaching, and he's not ready. Watch it back. It's hard to think when he's not. But watch it back. He's not. He reacts. He's like, oh. But by the time he's reacted, he already knows this ball's coming in here. It's that guy that looks ready for a cross. It's about to come in. Does that still look like a guy that's ready to stop a cross that's about to come in? He's got the run on him. It's not good. It's not good defending. It's not good. It's not good defending. We'll leave that one there. Third goal starts from here. They're throwing. That's where it starts from. Let's go. So Luke wins it back there. Gets in front of his man, wins it back. The reaction of the players, Luke tries to win it back again before any other player. Because the other players were not reacting. We try clear it. Little dribble clearance. We don't quite clear it, we just boot it down the line. Go to their guy, Edwards, who gives it to Schlupp in here. So he's just laid it off to him here, and it's not quick enough. The second he lays that ball off to him, Rocker's got to recognise the gaps. He's got to know where he is. He's not looked behind him. He doesn't know where Eze is. He's not looked behind him. He has no idea. He's trying to look in his peripheral now. Where is he? Too late. And you just give him this space. Our entire midfield in one pass. And then this is... Look, Eze's got in front of him here. And what Elise has done is he's drawn width from Firpo, and then he's cutting inside quickly. Now, it's difficult to be critical when a player is quicker than you, right? That's the problem here with Rocker. Eze's quicker than him. But to be able to fit a ball through this gap is just not good enough. Honestly, I can't blame. If he's quicker than him, he's quicker than him. Maybe if he's dragging and he's got a shout, maybe one of them Strout can notice that and come across quicker and then allow him 1v1 and then 1v1, as opposed to both coming to the ball and leaving him free. Because Rocket, is he shouting? That's what I don't know. Is he telling him? Is the communication there? Because if you're not quicker than him, you're not quicker than him. Right? You can't do it about that. It's a reaction of the team, and there isn't one. There's no reaction to the team. It's an easy ball through. Why Strout had to be there, I don't know. Junior was 1v1 here. Maybe he's inside cover, which I guess he is inside cover. But this is the problem. Him. And then we know what happens. Communication, I think. It's communication purely. Understanding where you need to be. Recognising where their goal's going to come from. Just being alert. So it's from this position here, as you can see, that Eze's got the run on Rocker. And it's now where a shout has to come. Whether it has or not, I don't know. But has a shout come? Strout, behind. Or Cott, tuck in. Tell him. It's got to be here. Because it's clear at this point, as Rocker is, that Eze's got the run on him. In this position, with 6 defenders around the ball, 5 really affecting it, we have to adapt, and we didn't. But a few seconds later, Strout looked on his shoulder, so he's looking on his shoulder. He's not done anything about that. Whether he thinks he's too deep, has he looked on his left? Does he know the gap? I don't think it. Maybe he thinks Cott's closer. I'm not sure. But these are things you break down. These are things it's good to talk to the players about, understand what happened, and then you can build on it. That's where Javi will do it. But these are what, as an analyst, this is what you look for here. This is what's happened here and how and why. Again, it's too much of a gap. Yeah. He tried. I've watched it. He's tried to run. He's just not quicker than him. Cock's still concerned about who's behind him, even though the pass is clearly about to come through here. Anyway, that's the third goal. Avoidable. The fact that comes from this. Look at all the men we have around the ball. That comes from this. All it needed here was a ball into Harrison, quick ball to Strouk, and then Firpo gets we're out. Which we did in the first half and our throw-ins many times. But here, we do a ball. It's in front of Jack. It goes straight to this guy here. Pass it to him, who then lays it back through. Goal for the counter-attack. Now, this one again, look, Jack's got the ball in a good area. He's absolutely rifled it. Absolutely rifled it into Rodrigo. And he's not controlling it. And that's what it comes from. If he's played him a nice little pass into this area here, where this is a decent position for Rodrigo to be in, we know what he can do in these areas, but he's rifled it up here, up above his knee. And it comes off him. And then suddenly that's where they're happy. Because look, midfielder out position, midfielder, fullback. So because of that pass and how much we committed, because we're losing the game when you have to. Look, fullback, centre mid, fullback, all there. You've just got two defenders back. That's it. You're in trouble. And you cannot allow yourself to do stupid things like this. And that was stupid. It's a mistake. He's not meant it. But in these moments, we've got to be better. Touch comes into here, into Eze. At this point now, I feel sorry for Stroke and Cox. There's nothing they can really do but delay. In this position, you have to delay. Just delay as much time as possible so you guys can get back. That's all you can. You can't dive in. You have to delay. That's vital. And they did. They tracked their men and they tried to stay tight and delayed. But there's only so much you can do. Especially when they've got running momentum at you. Still delaying. Still delaying. Not committing. Not being tight enough. But delaying. The difference is they're really quick. Simple. They're just quicker. Again. Can't allow them to be in situations where their speed is going to beat us. And we did. Because of a bad pass. Just a bad pass. And this is it now. The second he releases it is when Eze gets up on the line. He runs all the way until it's a 3v2. When it's a 2v2, he delays. Then Eze comes up here. Strauch has to go out a little bit. So then Koch comes over a little bit more, which gives Edouard space there. Right? Them two can't do anything in this situation. At this point. They cannot. They've been done. They've been shafted. And it's a good. It's smart play from Eze. Elise and Eze. Eze coming up against Strauch here to create that little bit of space. Good ball from Eze. Elise, Jesus. And then in this position here, Koch's always recovering. He's always recovering. And it's a goal. As an analyst, you can break this down by thinking, well, it's come from a mistake from your player. A counter-attack is hard to defend when there's 2v4. It's almost impossible. As a defender, you just want them to delay while we can get players back. Because what you don't do if you do delay is, the second you try and engage the guy running with the ball, he'll just pass it through then. Or he'll knock it past you and you've got a red card or something. That's delaying is the most sensible option. But it didn't work at this point. It's nothing to do with the centre-backs. They can't do anything about it. Koch's always recovering in this position. It's difficult. It came from the pass from Jack. Just a pointless pass in that position that didn't need to happen like that. Of a player of his quality. Final goal, right. So Elise does his thing. Beats Rasmus, because that's what they were doing all day, beating our fullbacks. Beats Rasmus. Ball in the box. Actually a decent header from Alien. Good position, to be honest. Gets it out, clears it. Fine. At this point, fine. You've got 3 men in the box here. Not too bad. Clears it. Second ball, Jack don't even challenge him. He just watches it on his head. Don't challenge him. Don't even jump. Alien's trying to recover to Eze at this point. But this is where it's too... It's there. Jack goes in with his right foot. There. Misses the ball. Alien's occupied here. Out wide, Rodrigo's occupied. So Eze's got literally all this space to run into and do what he wants. We missed the tackle. Again. Not good defending. He's dragging him in there. Plup's gone out wide, so McKennie can't commit. Oh, that's a free man. Then it's Rocker in there, 1v1. He draws them in. He draws them two in there. And then their overload starts. This is what annoys me about this bit. And it comes off our guy, right? So it's hard to say. It's hard to say whose fault it is. Because our centre-backs have pushed up to block the shot. right? Which is what you're saying about to do, which leaves him free. And I'm pretty sure it comes off our guy. But I don't know if it did. I don't know. He was onside anyway, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But if it didn't come off our guy, step up, man. I get it. Like, but just step up with the deepest guy who's ailing. Just step up, and he's offside. So then, if it did come off Will Hughes, he's offside. At least you give yourself a chance. And it's difficult to be like, yeah, well, because it probably came. I think it came off net though. And then that's just lucky. We try and block it. We don't. Our defenders try and do what they're meant to do, which is block the ball. He's just lurking in behind and he scores. But they're the goals, and they're all, as you can tell, avoidable. This one is avoidable at source. Here. That's where this one's avoidable. Just winning your tackle. I did it with Adams a few games earlier in the season where he missed his challenge. Here's Harrison's missed his challenge. And that's all 5 goals. So it's, as you can see, a lot of the goals now, and again, it's about blaming coaches, but a lot of the goals, the 4th one came from a counter-attack, which is by a bad pass, which has exposed us. When you're 3-1 down. This one's come from, again, before this move, not doing enough to stop them playing, and then to this move now, we'll see Eze not doing enough to stop him playing. Too passive. Way too passive. Almost like the mentality is the game's already gone. Right? And same for the other ones. Don't give him a stupid free kick. Don't panic. It's all mental things, I think. Wanting to win a tackle is mentality. And it's easy to say that in hindsight, given we know they scored from this. And you could say, well, if you give them a free kick there, that's a dangerous situation. Of course. But the fact that how easy they just glided past every player, there's not even an attempt. Is that because they're not good enough to first these players? What is it? And that's the dynamic we're trying to figure out here, right? With these players. Why do we let this stuff happen? When we watch the first half, there is clearly a lot of talent throughout. We'd even defended well in the first half. We nullified them. And maybe that's another tactical bridge argument. Why was it so good the first half? And what happened the second? Potentially. Let's see. I don't know. As an analyst, you can break these things down, but a lot of it is down to the players. You have to figure out from the players what's going on in that situation. Why is that happening? And it's the initial things in these moves that annoy me the most, more than the actual results. Because a few of them are down to them being quicker, a bit of luck. But a lot of them are down to situations we created through avoidable scenarios that we didn't have to do. The Rocker pass there. The Rocker foul in the first half. The bad pass from Jack. Luke Ayling panicking. That's the goals. That's what caused them. It's deeper than that, because why did they do that? Why did they panic? Right? Why is Jack doing a pass like that? I know he's not meant it, but we've got to be better than that. And I know as a footballer, if I'm doing that, it's not even football. If I play football, I'm doing a pass like that. I'm sorry, that's bad. But we've got to be better. The mentality's got to change. The fact that Javi said when it went 1-1 that's players lost the players. That's broke. Do you want this fight? Seriously. Because you look at all our players, where are they all from? Salzburg. Yeah? Never been in a relegation fight. Who else was there? Jonto Zurich, not in a relegation fight. Rocker Bayern Munich, not in a relegation fight. Sinistera Feyenoord, not in a relegation fight. These are all players. Juventus, Weston McKennie. These are all players that are good players. They are. But are they players who are ideal for a relegation fight? Probably not. Because they probably don't want to be part of that, and they probably don't feel they should be part of that. Because they're good players. But they are. And if they want next season, they've got to quickly change that now. When it goes 1-1, we've got to have self-belief that that's all right, we'll get a goal. Not capitulate. Not panic. Not rush. Not forget everything. And that's what's important. I hope Javi is the guy who can change that in the team quickly. Because we've got a home game against Liverpool next. And then we've got 2 very winnable games in Fulham, Leicester and Bournemouth. That's 3. 3 very winnable games. and then a tough end. Those 3 winnable games now are the games we've got to win or get something from. We cannot allow this to be repeated or we're in trouble. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe if you do enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Again, this is a bit of a mess, but it's just me talking about the game. I appreciate the support. Peace.